Incoming recession according to 75% of CFOs that were surveyed. All of that is happening as inventory in Utah and nationwide in the housing market is growing. I want to show you guys some things here. Now, if we take a look at this graph, look at the difference between last year, the orange line, and this year's blue-purple line. The inventory keeps growing year over year, month over month, and week over week. Now, if we take a look at the inventory and we compare it to last year, so this was at the peak at the end of March on Friday, the last Friday of March, 10,779 as we are here now on April 1st. That is a 47% increase, almost 50% more units for sale than a year ago to end March. Now, if we take a look at this, we had 7,300 last year, and if we take a look at 2019, we had 8,400. Now, the bigger thing to pay attention to is 6,188 under contract, 6,669 under contract in 2018, and right here we have 4,300 and 4,400. Not only is the inventory back to pre-pandemic levels and higher than it was in 2019 in March, the under contracts are substantially lower than they were prior to the pandemic. Higher inventory and less units going under contract. What does that mean? Inventory is most likely going to keep growing and growing, leading to a potentially really good buyer's market here in the second half of the year. That's what I've been saying, that the data has been predicting, and the data so far is not slowing down with this inventory growth. And all of that as consumer confidence in the economy is headed towards a 12-year low. All of this right here as recession incoming before the end of 2025, corporate CFOs say, and I'm going to read you guys right here, it all added majority of CFOs, 60% saying they expect a recession in the second half of the year. And another 15 say that they expect the recession will hit sometime in 2026. That right there is 75% of CFOs expect a recession sometime in the next year. Now, right here, if we take a look, it also says that what's going on in the economy, 95% of these CFOs say that this is impacting their business decisions. They're not sure what to do. Trump has come out and his secretary saying that they don't rule out a recession. And here is his secretary Lunatic saying that Trump's tariffs worth it even if they lead to a recession. Now, you're seeing recession potentials brewing in the economy. The president isn't, denying it. His secretary isn't denying it. And now we have CFOs coming out and saying that they're anticipating that the recession is going to come. All of this while tariffs are just running havoc on the economy because the Fed, even though they want to drop interest rates, can't. And if there's potential recessions incoming, the Fed would do that. But look what the Fed had to say right here. Fed decision recap. Powell says tariffs could delay progress in lowering inflation. Now, if we are headed to a recession, tariffs are going to make things more expensive. And if consumers can't afford things right now, how are they going to afford it when things get more expensive? And if the Fed is going to wait last second before they drop their Fed rate because they don't want inflation to respike. This is worst case scenario if we do get a recession. And on top of that, interest rates are not being dropped because of the fear of inflation coming back. This would be a double-edged sword that would lead to this inventory growth, most likely just continuing to separate itself year over year. I would love to hear your guys' comments. And we see that we have 10,700, almost 3,500 more units than we did a year ago. We're approaching 50% and way more than we had in 2019 as well. And the under contracts are lower than they were during the pre-pandemic years. So under contracts are going down, inventory is going up, a potential recession's incoming. We have 75% of CFOs saying that they're thinking it's going to happen sometime in the next year, and Trump and his secretary are not denying it, and yet the tariff wars are still in full force. I don't know how this is going to play out. Just follow the data. And if you haven't, I'm going to put that link down below. Sign up for the link. April is going to be the first month where I'm going to start sending the emails with the market updates of what's happening with the inventory and what's happening with prices. So you'll be getting 2 email market updates in the Utah housing market, what's going on with the inventory, what's going on with prices month over month, year over year. That way you're able to make decisions based on the counties that you're interested in. And I have the video, I'll attach it to that email. So if you haven't watched it, where I broke down the different counties, that way you can know what to expect in those emails, those market updates. But I'll have all of this in there. That way you're able to track what's happening with inventory, what's happening with prices. And I want to hear your guys' comments. What do you think? Do you think this recession is going to come? And do you think it's going to be a buyer's market here to end the year? And well, not the end of the year, but in the second half of the year. Comment down there your thoughts. Yes on the recession, no on the recession, and what are your thoughts on this, the whole tariff situation, the economy, the housing market? Is it going to be a buyer's market in the second half, a strong one, just like it was in that second half of 2022? And this is something that was happening in 2022. We had recession talks. I've been saying that. We had inventory growing year over year. We had under contracts dropping year over year. Though under contracts are not that much lower than they were a year ago. I mean, if we take a look at this, 4,300 compared to 4,448, negative 3%. But we do see that that is negative 2,000 units when you compare it to 2019, and over 2,000 when you compare it to 2018. Comment down below if you think there's going to be a recession. Don't forget to sign up for that buyer's, I actually do have the buyer's guide too. So if you want that, let me know. I'll send you the buyer's guide. But those market updates will come out twice a month, where you're going to get updates of what's going on with the inventory in the counties you're interested in, as well as the entire Wasatch Front, our entire metro area here, the greater Salt Lake area, and then also the prices in the separate counties and year over year, month over month, and for the entire MLS for our entire greater Salt Lake City area. And again, that's going to be down in the description, in the comments. And when you do need a realtor, remember, Dinko the Realtor has your back in Utah.